I've been reading a lot of reports about Iboga. Some are speculative, like what they think it may be right, and some are actual real reports. And there can be quite a scary element to it. There's a lot of people out there that are quite scared of ibogaine. Certainly, for me, is in the psychedelic community, it's something that I would think twice before trying, even though having experience with DMT and other things like that, ibogaine is one of those that is quite scary. I mean, does it deserve that credibility, or do you think it's just done wrong? Or
I think a couple of reasons why it's scary is particularly years ago, most ibogaine providers in the world utilized it, and the protocol was giving people what they call a flood dose. And during those first few hours after taking all the ibogaine, all the iboga at once, it feels like you're going 200 miles off of a cliff, but living to talk about it. The archetypal vignettes and the pictorial gestalts happen so fast and furious that you don't have time to process any of it. And a lot of people, particularly people in the 20s and 30s, when they come out of a 36-hour experience, have absolutely no idea what just happened. And I think that's the value of doing a more gradual protocol. So that's one reason why people have deemed it to be scary. The other reason is because it's been notoriously found to be so expensive. And one of the reasons why I came back on board after I took a few-year hiatus a couple of years ago is because I wanted people to learn that it doesn't have to be expensive, that I have a wide sliding scale, and that we can, if the person's really intent on doing this, we can work with it financially. One of the reasons why it has been so expensive is because it's a 3-day process. And for addiction interruption, it's more like a 5 or 6 day process. So, and it's a very one-on-one facilitation. You can't do this in groups.
yeah,
So if you've got a center, for example, and you're renting a house and you've got a doctor and a nurse and all these expenses, it costs a couple of $1,000 just to break even.
yeah,
And then you need to keep a roof over your head and take care of your kids, and so it ends up being expensive. There are some underground providers that are doing, a minimal amount of stuff. There's no horseback riding on the beach and, stuff like that. The other reason why it's been noted to be scary is because it's the only psychoactive that it's required that you receive some medical tests, because it temporarily prolongs the QTC, which is the electrical current that runs through the heart. So if the EKG, the passive heart rate test, indicates that the QTC is already prolonged and you do Iboga, it could bring the heart into arrhythmia, which could be dangerous. So every few hundred people, especially people that haven't gotten EKGs and are self-medicating, somehow they manage to procure Iboga or Ibogaine from a company somewhere, and they take too much, or their heart is compromised. There's been deaths.
mm,
Whereas you can take, 16 grams of psilocybin with a heart condition, and you'll survive.
yeah.
So there's a lot of different reasons why Iboga has been, rumored to be, scary and dangerous.